does hit that wall hard. Oh, what a tough break for the three-time champion. The tire, something happened. He was shot into the wall coming off of turn 4. Boy, he's grimacing right now. He hit very, very hard. You can see him right now just kind of getting the cobwebs out.
That was one of the hardest hits I've ever taken. And I think we broke a right front brake rotor going into one. Probably the worst thing you could ever ask for in race cars.
In 2008, NASCAR was in a whole new era of stock car racing as the sport moved away from the Gen 4 in favor of the mixed-reviewed Car of Tomorrow, a car that was specifically made for the safety of the drivers. Many were skeptical of the car as the look of it was a huge step away from its predecessors. The biggest concern for many was whether or not the car raced well, until a fateful day at Las Vegas Motor Speedway involving NASCAR's biggest star at the time. Jeff Gordon came off a tremendous season in 2007, racking up 6 victories and 30 top 10 finishes, making it one of the greater seasons for a driver to not win a championship. 2008, on the other hand, was a completely different season for the 4-time champion, who said he was having some irritation with his back, interfering with his ability to be competitive as he once was. However, in the 3rd race of the 2008 season, Gordon was looking to go for the victory in the UAW Dodge 400. With just a few laps to go, Jeff Gordon would do what he could to get the strong restart to challenge with the Roush Racing camp. However, coming out of the exit of turn number 2, Gordon would make contact with the 2003 champion of Matt Kenseth, leading to this violent incident.
He got Kenseth. Oh, and there goes Jeff. Jeff's in the inside wall, hard into the wall. Caution will wave. Caution will wave. The field is frozen. We'll be coming back to 4 to go.
Clear.
Oh, my.
And you're right, Darrell. Jeff's car just pushes up, won't hold the bottom of the racetrack.
Couldn't hold it down. And this thing goes in here, and it hits an opening. That's why it knocked. That's what happened.
Oh, my God.
It hit that opening, and it just ripped the front end off of it.
There's no safer barrier there.
No.
Out of instinct, Jeff Gordon would turn towards the inside wall in hopes of avoiding any more damage with the 17 car. But unfortunately, this led to him in a trajectory towards the inside wall containing no safer barrier. The front end would careen against the wall, causing the car to violently swing due to the force. Jeff Gordon somehow was able to exit the car under his own power and appeared to be uninjured. A shocking sight for many, as the driver stated that he was having back problems. Many give credit to the Car of Tomorrow for keeping the legend safe, but at the moment when many saw the car heading towards the inside wall with that much speed, many would say that it was a moment in history where time froze. Exhibition races can be very exciting for both drivers and fans to watch, as there are no championship indications. It's even more exciting when we get to see longtime racers that no longer race at the highest division of stock car racing. Today we see this in the SRX series, but back then, Bristol would provide a similar product using late models with past superstars in NASCAR. For the most part, it was an exciting thing to watch, except for one race in the year 2010. Larry Pearson was participating in a Legends charity race at Bristol Motor Speedway, along with his father David Pearson and other legends such as Cale Yarborough, Harry Gant, and others. Larry had himself a successful Busch Series career, as he was able to win the 1986 and 87 championship, securing him a spot in this charity race. The race had a scheduled distance of 35 laps long, basically being an intermission race for the bigger events that were happening that race weekend. However, it would be this race that got the most attention that Bristol race weekend. Near the end of the event, it looked like Larry Pearson was going to have a good showing and be able to complete the race with no issues. That was until the car would get loose in turns 2 with less than 5 laps to go.
Slam the wall as he turns it around. Oh! And Charlie Glotzbach T-bones him. Red flag is immediately displayed at start finish. and they need the ambulance. You can see these guys waving. All right, folks, all the fun is just the balloon has burst a little bit for all of us.
Larry Pearson would get sideways in front of a group of rushing cars, leaving him in the path of one car. Larry would be T-boned on the driver's side by Charlie Glotzback, a multi-time Busch Series champion. This changed the more exciting tone of the race to a potential tragic moment in an instant. Pearson and Glotzback were both reported to be knocked unconscious, and Pearson had to be cut out of his car and transported to a local medical center in Tennessee. Reports indicated that he suffered ankle, hand, and pelvis injuries and underwent surgery that Saturday night. Charlie Glotzback was also transported to the hospital to be checked out as well. Luckily, no one was seriously injured from the scary-looking incident. However, this showed everyone that even an event as exciting and fun as this one can quickly turn tragic thanks to just one little mistake. It is starting to become more common than ever to see drivers participating in other types of motorsports. It's a great way for drivers to show off their skills outside of NASCAR, as drivers like Kyle Larson, Ryan Preece, and others have run in multiple series while also competing at the highest level of stock car racing. Although it's impressive, there is a lot of risks that come with it, as drivers become more exposed to injury competing in series where safety may not be at the same level as NASCAR. Most people would say that some of the worst racing incidents that happened to a driver racing in another series has been Tony Stewart when he broke his leg in a sprint car crash in 2013, or more recently with Alex Bowman, who suffered a back injury running in sprint cars. As scary as these accidents were, none of them pale in comparison with an incident that happened in 2004 with one of NASCAR's most beloved drivers in the sport, Dale Earnhardt Jr. In 2004, Dale Jr. was participating in the American Le Mans Series at Sonoma Raceway. It was during a free weekend on the schedule, making it completely harmless for the driver to compete in the race. He would join fellow road course ringer Boris Said and race in the third entry for Corvette Racing in the GTS division. The team was able to qualify in, and Dale Jr. along with the rest of NASCAR felt really good about their star driver competing in the race, but the joy would quickly fade away during a practice session before the race. During the warm-ups while going through the S's, Earnhardt Jr. would get sideways and hit a concrete barrier. The accident itself was what you would call quite tame compared to other incidents that we have seen in this series, except if you look closely at the rear camera, you can see the fuel line getting ruptured, meaning that the car turned from a torn-up Corvette into a ticking time bomb. Earnhardt would just have a few seconds before the fuel would find something hot and just seconds after the crash, the car burst into flames with Jr. still inside. Rescue crews were on the scene right away to help the 2004 Daytona 500 winner, but miraculously, he was able to get out of the car himself before collapsing on the track's surface. He was alive, but didn't escape the wreck fully unscathed. Although the fire was extinguished relatively quickly, Earnhardt still had to be airlifted to the University of California Davis Medical Center in Sacramento for treatments of his burns. He suffered second and third degree burns on his neck, chin, and legs, partially due to not wearing a protective balaclava with his helmet. The burns prevented him from finishing 2 races after the incident, as he would need substitute drivers to complete the races at New Hampshire and Pocono. A scary situation for sure, but at least it didn't end his career. With that said, there is one more thing I want to share about this incident that gives a lot of people, including Jr. himself, the chills. While escaping the burning carnage, Jr. stated that he doesn't remember anything from that entire ordeal. He is not sure what got him out of that car or how his instincts kicked in, but Dale Jr. believes that it was his father, Dale Sr., a legend in the sport, who lost his life in the 2001 Daytona 500 that helped him out of the car. I think he had a lot to do with me getting out of that car. I don't want to put some weird, psycho twist on it like he was pulling me out or anything, but he had a lot to do with me getting out of that car. For the moment I made to unbuckle my belt to lying on the stretcher, I have no idea what happened. It freaks me out today, just talking about it. It just gives me the chills. Makes you wonder how many of us have guardian angels watching over us in times when we need them the most. It's something that us race fans deal with almost every year with at least one race on the schedule. Lightning is common during the summer stretch of the series schedule, so much so that even talking about it brings a bit of frustration for many fans. The reason for this is whenever a lightning strike happens within an 8-mile radius of the track, there will be an automatic 30-minute delay. The clock will automatically reset when a new lightning strike happens within that 8-mile radius. This has led to many frustrating circumstances. One that comes to mind almost immediately is the 2019 Coke Zero Sugar 400, when the race would be halted at the worst time for a lightning delay, leading to hours of red flag conditions, inevitably giving Justin Haley his first career win in the Cup Series in only his third start. Many fans ask why this call is put in place, as it is one of the most frustrating situations to come across. Well, to answer that question, we have to go back to a race that happened in August of 2012, when the NASCAR world would forever change their procedures on lightning strikes. The 21st race of the 2012 season was held at iconic Pocono Raceway, a triangular-shaped track that is a massive 2.5 miles in distance. The pressure was high for many teams as the race for the chase was closing in rapidly, meaning that many drivers outside the top 10 in points were in need of a huge race weekend. To add on to the intensity, rain was rapidly closing in on the track, meaning a full 400-mile race was almost out of the question. During a restart on lap 91, many teams knew that rain would touch down the racetrack, meaning that whoever won on the restart would be crowned the eventual winner. As the cars dove into turn 1, 4 of the leaders would get tangled up into an incident, leading to Jeff Gordon to go around on the inside and take the lead under caution. It was only a matter of time before rain would come to the racetrack and secure Jeff Gordon his first win of the 2012 season. Finally, rain started to hit the track after 6 caution laps, but what came wasn't a regular shower storm, but a powerful one that left many to scramble. As quickly as the rain came, so did the lightning storm. Fans were scrambling for shelter to keep safe from the storm, but there was one huge problem. Most fans were stuck underneath the grandstands, and in order for them to leave would require them to walk to the parking lot without protection, meaning that NASCAR had to find the perfect moment for fans to leave. As the skies opened over the track, NASCAR called the race and fans were advised to find shelter. But this proved to be a huge mistake, as lightning struck the parking lot and other areas around the track as fans ran to their cars, leading to multiple people being struck by lightning. 8 were sent to the hospital, but sadly, 1 would lose their life. Brian Zimmerman, 41, of Pennsylvania, was killed when he was struck by lightning in the parking lot behind the front stretch grandstands. Within less than 20 minutes, the race went from having an absolute thriller of a finish to a complete nightmare for fans. Me and my friend just ran into our truck during all the nasty weather. The visibility was very poor, and all of a sudden I saw a bolt of lightning right in front of our windshield. When it became a little more visible, we saw 2 bodies next to a destroyed tent with people scrambling. Going back to the data, it appeared that NASCAR pushed the envelope way too far on calling a stoppage on the race, as a severe storm warning was issued at 4:12 p.m. The track issued warnings at 4:21 p.m. that high winds and lightning were on the way. However, the race would not be stopped until 4:54 p.m. after 98 of 160 laps, 42 minutes after the severe storm warning. The fatal lightning strike would come only 7 minutes later. The fallout resulted in multiple trials against NASCAR for negligence. However, all would be in favor of NASCAR or settled out of court. Regardless, the whole situation was heartbreaking and one that was an absolutely terrible look on the sport itself. Because of this situation, NASCAR and tracks have made warnings for severe storms and lightning more noticeable by making multiple announcements and posting on video boards and social media. They have also been extremely strict about the guidelines on how to handle lightning storms that are within the 8-mile radius of the track. So the next time we get a little upset by the long delay of the storm, we have to remember why it happened in the first place, as more than 11 years ago, time would freeze in the Pocono Mountains in one of NASCAR's darkest moments. Thank you so much for watching. Next video for this series will probably be the last one that focuses on NASCAR exclusively, as I plan to expand the series into other motorsports. This will give us more opportunity to talk about stories where time is frozen in racing. If there's other specific stories you would like me to talk about here in this series, please let me know down in the comments section. I appreciate you all watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and above all guys, you all take care.